What do we understand about the relationship between Xi Jinping and our current president of the United States, Donald Trump? Is there really a human connection, something approximating a friendship as they've spoken about, or is it just purely realpolitik maneuvering, world leaders playing a game of chess, or is it a bit of both?
There's a degree to which I think there's some confusion about a couple things. I mean, one is when there's a sense that Trump is sort of uniquely tough on the Chinese Communist Party. He has periodically said things about praising Xi Jinping as a leader, even sort of praising Xi Jinping's strength and things. So I think for some ways, for the personality cult of Xi Jinping, some of this is kind of useful because the story that the Chinese Communist Party, they need to tell a story about why they deserve to keep ruling. And one of their stories is that because the world is a dangerous place and there's not a lot of enough respect for China. So when there's very tough talk about China coming out of the White House, that's useful. And then the other part is about Xi Jinping being just the right person to have at the helm. And when there are discussions, when there's praise for him and his showing toughness, that also works well. So I think the argument among at least some China specialists is to say the Chinese Communist Party likes predictability, and Xi Jinping seems to like predictability in particular. And Donald Trump clearly isn't a predictable figure. So there might be a way in which this is unsettling. But I think the other part of it is the Chinese Communist Party wants, under Xi Jinping wants to gain more allies around the world, to be seen with more respect around the world. And at the moment is in a position where he can present himself as an orderly, thoughtful, gradualist figure. In some ways, I think, as much as there's tension between the two capitals, there's a way that things are going in a way that benefits Xi Jinping and can seem good. That doesn't explain what their personal relationship is and how they actually see each other when they're in the room together.
And whether that matters or is a part of the calculus at all, because after all, they are leaders of superpowers. I think for Trump, it matters. Personal relationships matter. But of course, we see a lot. We know a lot about Donald Trump. We know a lot about the White House. And actually, let me just say as a tangent, for whatever you think about this particular White House, one of the things I really like is that every single member of the cabinet is willing to talk for many hours every single week, talk about what they think, how they see the world, explain Donald Trump's approach. It doesn't matter if you disagree with what they're saying. Maybe you say they're dishonest, maybe you're misrepresenting, but there's a lot of information. That's something we don't have with China. And as a fan of history for me, and as a fan of sort of deep political analysis of the world, it makes me sad because it's a very asymmetrical amount of information.